I found out not too long ago, I think it was from a Vsauce video, that you can only go up 11 generations in your DNA chain. Basically, after 11 generations, whatever tie you have between you and, 11 generations from now will basically be eliminated.
So if you traveled back in time to 12 generations ago, and
there's nothing there. There's no data
ancestor,
from whoever.
Yeah.
Whoever you were related
it's
to.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's 12 generations anyway. That's like...
how long is 12 generations?
That's so far. I mean...
12 generations is okay, so 3 generations. Think where I'm at right now. 3 generations away from me, my great-grandfather, who was born in 1904. And that's 3 generations. So that's about almost 100 years between me and my great-grandfather.
Yeah.
So if we do that another 3 times, 300 years is 9 generations. And another 2 generations beyond that, we'll say about 350, 370.
So my family says that we have a signer of the Declaration of Independence.
Fascinating.
It wouldn't even be incest. I could go back. I could gluck. It'd be fine.
So you're saying if you were to go back 12 generations and fuck your...
Wait, that's only 250.
Yeah, no, what?
Well, the American...
Oh, right, the American. So yeah, you would still be within your DNA.
Yeah.
You'd still be within your DNA chain. So you don't want to fuck anyone from the Revolutionary period.
Okay, Revolutionary...
out of the question. Out of question. 250.
Okay. Heard.
So this is why we should not be celebrating America's 250th.
What?
It's not 11 generations yet.
So then it would be
of course,
Mayflower landing. That's
here's the thing. But between me and my great-grandfather, the males had their children at around age 30. But your family, I feel like your family is the kind of people that have kids young, like 20,
if you
25.
go with my dad's side, that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
My mom's side, it is definitely true. Because I think there's 3 generations of teenage pregnancies. Okay. 4 if you count my sister when she had it, or one at 19, my oldest sister.
So that means you could probably get to 11 quicker than me. Probably, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe it's not even out of the question,
That's
1776-ish.
Yeah, that's the whole thing of generation things too. My dad was 30 when I was born. I don't know how old his dad was when my dad was born though, or his mom, but he was the oldest, so they were probably younger than 30. At least a little younger than 30.
So on my mom's side, my grandfather was 33, and on my dad's side, my grandfather was 27 or 26.
Mm-hmm. So
and then hold on. So my on my mom's side, my grandfather's father, who's the one that was born in I think it was 1904. I think he might have been 32 when my grandfather was born. So I think roughly 30.
Yeah, it is crazy how much 3 years stacks so quickly too, though.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between 30 and 27 would be meaningful across 10 generations.
Yeah, that's kind of scary because I'm 27 right now.
Well, I mean, that's fun. You
gotta get to work.
27 to 32. You want to make sure you want to make sure that your boy could travel backwards and fuck someone roughly 300 years in the past.
Roughly 300 years.
Anyone in
what Assassin's Creed posits is that you should go and have kids as young as possible, so that your descendants could go back 350 years in the past and fuck their ancestors.
They need to. What it is you just need to maintain the line back to the apple. You just have to.
It all comes back down to the apple.
Just make sure you nut. This is key. Make sure. No, it's actually make sure you fertilize. It's not just nutting, because it's pretty easy to nut without fertilizing. Make sure you fertilize. Fertilize them eggs. That's what Assassin's Creed is about. Yeah. For the apple, we must defeat the Templars. You see.
I think the other thing is this movie posits that the light of Allah will unite us all, and Spain needs to return to a time of enlightenment. Welcome back to Midnight Grappler Animals, home of Flub Nation. I'm your host, Lan, and with me I've got a man who, I don't know, where do your allegiances lie, Keigen? The Assassins or the Templars?
Everything is permitted.
Everything is permitted.
Somos asesinos.
You can double dip, you can put a toe in one and put a toe in the other.
You know what? Sometimes
the games have done that, so it's not, everything is permitted.
Everything is permitted, You pick the assassins so you could betray the assassins if you need to, Templars, they're not going to do that.
Except when they do.
But it'll be like they're true believers now. You won them,
Yes.
They're switching allegiances, and that's probably not changing. But assassins are just untrustworthy in their nature. Untrustworthy and untrusting.
Exactly.
That was really what I was going for.
Untrustworthy and untrusting. Keep that in mind as we talk about today's movie, Assassin's Creed, the 2016 movie. You might be thinking, wait a minute, there was an Assassin's Creed movie? And trust me, I don't blame you. This is, I think of all the movies we'll be covering for this little series here, this probably is the most forgotten, I feel. Like, I told my friends about this, that I'm watching this movie for the podcast, and they were like, wait, there was an Assassin's Creed movie?
A movie? Wait a second.
A movie, yes.
A movie? Okay.
It's funny because it's a franchise that has delved into many different mediums, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but a movie, yes, a movie. And it's not even a direct adaptation. It's its own thing.
It's in canon.
It's in canon.
It's in a lot of ways, this should work for me, and it does conceptually. It does because I am a nerd of Star Wars, right? But even more importantly than Star Wars, it's all of the bullshit multimedia franchises.
Yes,
right? Halo. I read a ton of those paperbacks. Mass Effect. I read comics. I read paperbacks of those. Go back to like older cartoons. I seeked out the like Disney Adventure comics of different things. Those actually would have been my earliest comics after Shonen Jump. So like this kind of stuff should be my jam. And it's weird that I skipped it at the time. But I skipped a lot of stuff. I skipped basically everything that wasn't Star Wars or MCU.
I think part of it is also the fact that they did the film technically last. In this case, because
right. In
a lot of the cases that you mentioned, the movie was one of the first things. I mean, in Halo's case, it's kind of weird, but
Halo,
Star
they broke
Wars
it, and like Halo's choices allowed me to stop paying attention to Halo. Is basically what they did. But yeah, Star Wars was movie first, which totally makes sense that it's like the movie ends in this case being so forgotten. But it's Michael Fassbender too.
And Michael Fassbender too, Marion Cotillard. Who was the third actor? You said this before we started recording, and I was just so gobsmacked by how you referred to him.
First of all, Michael K. Williams is
Michael K. Williams is
insane one. But then the guy from Banshees.
The guy from Banshees is what he refers to.
He's like nobody.
Brian Gleason as.
Yeah,
actually,
the guy from
not Brian Gleason's in this movie, but so is Brendan Gleeson. They preceded Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell doing the father and son playing the older version of the older and younger versions of the character
of themselves. Yeah. And then, I mean, will a father not marry his son himself?
Yes.
Like it's full of so many of that guys, and it's like, which makes sense. Like Assassin's Creed was pretty big, Assassin's Creed was a pretty big franchise.
Contextually speaking, like around the time that this started production, we were in the middle of that Ezio heat, you know? Brotherhood had just started, or had just been released. They announced this in 2011. So Revelations, I think, was about to come out the following year. And then between the announcement and the movie coming out in 2016, we had Assassin's Creed 3, Brotherhood, we had Brotherhood, Revelations 3,
And then
Black Flag
too.
and Unity. I think Unity had come out right
Unity
before this
too.
movie. And
This is
there's
crazy.
another Unity connection in this movie that's just insane. Like, this movie feels like such a weird artifact of 2016
Mhm,
because
mhm.
on the other side of things, you also had the Ratchet and Clank movie, which had the tie-in video game from Insomniac themselves. And now
that
the
is
only
crazy.
thing anyone remembers about that movie is the video game that came out with it.
That's nuts. Yeah.
So really what they should have done is they should have made a game to go alongside the movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, it's we're just continuing the trend of like this movie's not art. Like,
yeah, it's not. It's not.
this
It's
movie is
a
not-
piece of multimedia franchising.
Yeah, and it's like it's a way to facilitate plot. You know, that's all this is. None of the performances are good, even though it's a million guys that I like. Like it hurts me to say that this role by Michael K. Williams, you know, in the last years of his life is terrible. But it's like he doesn't do a good job. It's not like anybody
he's barely
in this movie
there,
does a
too.
good job. True. And I'm not whatever. He made money, whatever. But like this movie sucks on every level. There's no art here.
Yeah,
and
if we
it's
can
just
spoil
like,
it, I think this is the
what are we
worst
doing?
experience that I've had watching a
I
video
think
game
so too,
movie.
which is crazy.
And we're only 2 movies into this thing.
Right. We've only watched 2 films. So
Yes.
very important.
Very important to note. We're only 2 films in. And this
Only
is probably
2.
the worst experience that I've had thus far.
For sure.
It is just such a weird anomaly
And it's
of a
like-
movie.
it's immediately true that it's a bad experience also. You know?
Yes.
Like,
I mean, here I'll give it this. It starts off incredibly true to the video games.
yeah.
In that the Assassin's Creed, like the assassin stuff, very interesting, and then you get to the real slog of modern day stuff that completely
Right.
takes you out of your immersion. So very true to form
Yeah.
in that sense.
And the balance is so much worse than any of the games I've played, at least.
Oh,
I haven't
yes.
played a lot of
Oh,
Assassin's
yes.
Creed.
Actually, we'll start with that. What is your
Perfect.
experience with the Assassin's Creed franchise?
Okay, so played the first one
Okay.
around the time it came out. Played the second one when it came out. Loved it. Brotherhood and Revelations both were peak for me. Then I got married, and I stopped playing video games, basically. Or that's not true. I didn't, because I know I got Black Flag with my PS4, which was right before I got married, and I played like 3 hours of Black Flag, and then I didn't pick it back up. Which, like, I feel like I could go back to Black Flag and have fun.
Well, good news.
But
there's a
there's a re-release.
re-release
I
coming
know.
out soon. Yeah.
I will not be touching that.
Probably not. Yeah, me neither.
I
I don't know.
It's like I buy things and I don't play them already. I need to buy something that I actually play. So, and it's like, I don't know. A lot of my friends have picked Assassin's Creed back up since, you know, they skipped 1 or 2 of the games and got back into them. And so, like, the Egypt one looks cool. The Greece one
Right.
looks cool. Whatever those are called. I don't care. But like, I haven't jumped back on. But Assassin's Creed 2 was like, I love
The
that
shit. It was the
experience of
shit.
playing
And
those.
it
Yeah.
totally makes sense that after that game came out, it was 2009 when that game came out. It totally makes sense that they would go into the movie making route after that.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's funny because I feel like this would have been an on-ramp for me to start playing the games again. I think I would have thought that, and then I would have watched it and I would have been like, kill Assassin's Creed. Like, we're done with this. Like, I can't believe
Even
this
more
movie.
than the video games at that point, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the first thing that really hit in terms of Assassin's Creed fatigue.
For sure, yeah, and I mean, like, it makes sense when like, who reads the Assassin's Creed comics, right?
I
They
mean,
don't even
people
have.
were. That's the craziest thing. People
Yeah.
were. People were reading the comics. They were buying the dinky little spin-off games that they released for PS Vita, which also tie into this movie. Like, this movie is made for sickos.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
made for the exact kind of sickos that would engage with the Assassin's Creed franchise like that.
Yeah, this is a
That
movie,
being
though.
said, that was almost me at that time. But I've never
hell
watched
yeah.
the movie until now. This is the first time I'm watching the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, I started with Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 and Brotherhood because I borrowed all three of those games from my neighbor, and I still have those games a decade and something later. I think I borrowed
It's
them in
okay.
like 2012.
You'll return them one day.
I mean, listen, it's not like he has a PS3 to play them on anyways, so it's not like this is futile, like, why would I give it back, anyway. Played those three games, like you, again, totally fell in love with 2. Played Brotherhood, didn't play Revelations, actually. I, to this date, haven't played Revelations. Played 3, played Black Flag, but also, like you, I didn't finish Black Flag. I skipped Unity on release just because, all the stuff with the glitchiness and all, if you were there in 2015, you'd remember. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I tried to play. I rented a copy back when video game rentals were somehow still a thing.
That's crazy. Game flash outs.
Played the first mission, and the first mission had glitched out so badly that my PS4 crashed. Damn. So I promptly returned the Assassin's Creed Syndicate copy and then never touched the franchise ever again. Didn't play Origins, didn't play Odyssey, didn't anything after that. Didn't touch it after. So thank you, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You probably did save me from watching this movie.
It's the real ultimate Black Panther of the Assassin's Creed line, just like
yes,
now
just
I don't
a real
have to buy
filter,
them all.
like
thanks to whoever
you don't
stole
need to read that last
palette
issue.
shouts,
you don't need to read that last issue.
You're right. I don't. I might not. I don't know. I'll leave that up to future Keigen to decide.
Yes.
And then at this point, it's like I know I fuck with Assassin's Creed, like it's an easy
conceptually
game to
it's super cool. Like that's the thing. This is a spin-off of the Prince of Persia franchise. We mentioned this in the last episode. But like conceptually it's so cool. What if you could go back in time and hold on, it posits, what if you were a Chud and could go back in time to your Chad ancestor's self and acquire the Chad skills from your ancestor to be a Chad in the modern day?
It's just
incredible premise. Also, what if you could go back to your ancestor and you found out your ancestor was Muslim? Your Chad Muslim ancestors' powers can manifest within you in the modern day.
Yeah. What if you could learn to be a down-ass white boy?
Exactly.
What if that's possible for you? What if you could go from being that no chin guy in Preacher to being Jesse in Preacher, like you could go from not cool to awesome, the coolest. It's incredible. It's perfect video games. Also, just like it's pretending within pretending within pretending. It's beautiful. It's a great concept. But also I'm like, how'd you make it last like 20 years and over 10 games? I don't know.
It was just a different time. I think it's such a thing of its time, that late 2000s, we were just starting to get over the hump of what video games could really be. You had Uncharted that came out in 2007. You had, again, the first Assassin's Creed game came out in 2008. There was that cinematic experience that these games offered. Even if the games themselves weren't necessarily cinematic, it's this idea that, like, video games could be this incredible narrative experience, like you could check it out. You could climb across rooftops like you were there in Baghdad.
So true. Yeah. You know what though? I was also just thinking, like, the world where Assassin's Creed is bigger than Call of Duty, probably better. Right?
Probably is better, yes. I think we would have a lot more enlightened white guys.
Yeah,
in that
more
universe.
Dobbs. We need
more Dobbs. Yes,
please. Eat with your hands is fine.
yes, actually.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed is cool. I don't know what they could possibly do to get me to play a new Assassin's Creed game. Um, but I'll tell you what,
I mean,
it
I think if I was
definitely.
bored enough, I'd probably pick up. Honestly, like because my brother
There's
has
so many
been picking
games
up
to
these
play.
games,
Oh,
and
has
he
he?
had like yeah. So like I have copies of, the Ezio collection, the remaster they made.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sitting there on my shelf. So like
Yeah.
again, if I
Go
was
back to
bored enough,
Revelation.
I could try Revelation. Exactly.
See, this is the thing though, right? Because like we have the Breath of the Wildification of everything, of like this giant open world where you just kind of wander around and do stuff. It was cool. That game's great. There are many fantastic games that were born out of that, right? Not complaining. But like the Assassin's Creed 2 era of games where you had like city sim builders in the middle of your
Virtual
game
tourism
too.
is what it is. Like that's really what the games also did, was like as much as they are.
Yeah. Like
You know,
Ghost is downstream. The Ghost games
Yeah,
are downstream.
yeah,
of that.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's this idea that you could be transported into these worlds. Like you can go back to 1400s Italy. You can go back to again, back to the era of the Hashashin, not the Hashanshins, or whatever Prince of Persia called them. Assassins. Gotta go hire the Assassins to kill the Prince of Persia. But yeah, like the virtual tourism element is another key aspect, and I think there's an immersion there that isn't there in this movie at all.
At all. Not even a little bit.
At all. Not even like a tiny bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. We're like talking about the games, avoiding talking about the movie. There's so little to talk about with this movie. It's terrible.
Where do you even start? I mean,
you know
let's go into like the making of this movie.
That's
okay.
Beautiful.
So this movie came out in 2016. It was directed by Justin Kurzel. Are you familiar with Justin Kurzel's work?
No.
I don't blame you, because the movies he had to his name up until this point were Snowtown and Macbeth. And not the Macbeth that everyone thinks of when they think about the Macbeth movie. It's the one starring Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard.
That's awesome. That's no wonder. You know what? He must be a cool guy. You know, he must be a pretty cool guy if they're gonna follow him. You know?
Yeah, must be a really cool. It must be a great director.
He must at least be nice. You know,
this was originally produced by Sony Pictures before Ubisoft pulled out because they wanted more creative control. It was a very unique arrangement in general. It was ultimately co-produced by New Regency and distributed by 20th Century Fox. It was written by Michael Leslie, who went on to write Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the Hunger Games movie, and Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Wait, which Now You See Me, Now You Don't?
No, is that
the second one? That's the
franchise. No. The franchise is called Now You See Me.
Okay.
The second one is called Now You See Me 2. Wait, fuck.
This is why I'm confused.
Now You See Me 2. I'm pretty sure the second one.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah, the second one is just called Now You See Me 2.
It's stupid.
But the third one. The third one is called Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
It's the stupidest thing ever. It's a lob to LeBron. That's what it should have been. You know, it's like it's going in. The second one is Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Now You See Me 2 is really nonsense. And I almost hope that they did all of that on purpose to be funny, because otherwise,
I mean, if people skip the second one, you know, I think it.
How is it that there's a person who how is it that that's a whole franchise and he only wrote
the third one?
The third one.
Well, I mean, the other thing is John M. Chu, you know, the Wicked guy.
The Wicked guy, yes.
The Wicked guy. He was on that franchise too.
That's a lot
very
to deal with.
Crazy franchise. Maybe we got to cover that at some point. We don't though. Back to Assassin's Creed.
The film.
Michael Leslie, the Now You See Me, Now You Don't guy, wrote the script, and it was rewritten later by Adam Cooper and Bill Collage. I want to go with Collage because I think it would be dumb if he called himself Bill College.
Yeah.
Unlike the other film that we discussed last week or last time, Justin Kurzel is actually the only director that was attached to this. So
unfortunate.
I guess that puts
he gets all the blame.
Yeah, exactly. He gets. There's no real creative meddling. I'm sure there is.
At least at a certain point.
At a certain point, yeah. At a directorial level, there isn't. Unless, of course, there is a Kurzel cut that we're somehow not privy to.
He's not loud about it. So if there is, he ain't telling people.
So, do you want to guess where this ranks in the highest grossing video games of all time?
I'm gonna guess it's outside the top 10, and I'm fine with being wrong.
But how
okay,
deep?
that's fun. I'll say number 15, just because it's 2016. People were movie. I mean, as much as it's like the big movies that I immediately know, like box office wise, like Rogue One and Civil War both were out. So like maybe one of those was released near it and it got snuffed, but I'm gonna say like 15 for Assassin's Creed on video game movies.
15. It ranks at number 18.
Damn, almost. That's crazy.
So I'll tell you what it's done better than and what it's done worse than. So immediately better than Resident Evil Retribution, which is the 5th installment in the Resident Evil film franchise.
What year did that come out?
Retribution came out in 2012.
Okay, damn.
It also did better than Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Okay.
And Pokemon the first movie.
That one's crazy. But
yes,
I would also think that one would have been re-released more times. And I think if they did a re-release like in the last couple years, it would have went crazy.
But Pokemon it has done so. The funny thing is, the two entries right above Assassin's Creed are both Tomb Raider. The original one starring Angelina Jolie, and the 2018 one starring Alicia Vikander. Right above them, Five Nights at Freddy's. Then above those two, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter and Resident Evil Afterlife. And then above those two, Sonic the Hedgehog. And then above that, Prince of Persia. So between Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed, there are 7 games.
Damn, that's crazy. Why were?
You think that's crazy? This movie lost New Regency around $100 million.
I mean, good.
Good, but it made $240 million against a $125 million production budget.
That's expensive.
Yes, and there were two sequels that were planned for this movie that were canceled because of its performance at the box office.
Movies are just money laundering, man. Like,
yeah.
At least with games, I do get if you spend $100 million to make a game, I understand. Like, there's a lot of people, Even like the electricity budget is gonna have some more meaningful line on.
Back then, when they had gaffers to pay as well.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't do a good job.
But not on this one. Not on this one. I don't think they had gaffers on this one.
But even then,
I think this was the start
gaffers,
of.
It was like $125 million. My God, that's a Marvel movie. What are you doing spending that on a video game movie? They're not art.
Especially when you look at what this movie is able to achieve, you start to wonder where that money went.
No, you know what? It pisses me off. I immediately, went to Letterboxd when the movie was done. Of course, saw that Salt has already watched it 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. For some reason, he already did this. He probably didn't finish it. But like the stunts in this are cool, and the what is it even called? What's the leap of faith?
The leap of faith yes.
moment.
It's a real moment.
It's a real thing, and it looks so bad. Like,
yes,
they didn't even try. How many cameras did they have for that moment? It feels like 0. It's insane. Like, the budget doesn't make any sense on this movie. It's so like. It could have been filmed in front of.
When they cut to Andalusia for the first time, and it's just the most god awful smoke filled battlefield I've ever seen. Like, it's like
It's so
solid
ugly.
70 to 80% of that shot is just smoke.
And it's not even like yellow filter. It's like brown diarrhea filter.
It's
Like,
slop.
it's so bad, man. Ugh, and it's like constantly looking like that. And it's not even, you can't, I don't think you can legibly read like what they're actually going for with the filter, right? Because it's like, okay, war movies do a little gray, little, you know, artifacting, and it's like, okay, cool, this is a World War II movie. And even like, you know, the Mexico yellow filter is like fine, right? Or, you know, Middle Eastern yellow filter, fine, okay, I understand what you're communicating. I have no idea what this is trying to say. Like, were people pooping themselves to death? Is that,
Maybe
I don't understand
it's
this
because
color.
they thought that since this takes place in the 15th century, they were like, "Oh, this is like Black Plague," which also doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Like none of this makes sense. Is
No.
really what I'm getting at here.
but even the real life parts in the lab are like this weird gray sheen.
like clinical and
But it's like-
like
It's not like well lit enough, you know? It's not like
Yeah.
highly lit. It's still kind of dim. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, light it like it's Star Wars. If you're going to have this clinical space, right? Like light it like it's fascist and
especially if you're going full sci-fi with it.
yeah, which
Like,
is what the
especially
games
the
do, right?
Animus room. Like the Animus room, like also the Animus. We should mention the Animus in this. So the Animus in the games is a very nice bed. You know, you just you hop in the
Do a little
bed.
sleepy sleep.
Little visor comes up on the top of your eyes. This is like a VR headset basically, and you go to sleep
Mhm.
and you live through very simple experience, you know. And the issue was that if you were to adapt that to film, according to the people that made this movie, it would be too similar to The Matrix. And so as a result, they had to change this very straightforward concept into something that I could only describe as what's the word here?
Dude, it's a rock.
absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
That's the
that was the
word.
note.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like if it's like a rock climbing gym, but
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
like-
look cool. I don't understand like where the structures he's climbing. I guess it's the thing, right? It's the thing in his neck. It's just like flipping
Yeah.
around and he's climbing the thing on his neck, which is, I mean, conceptually I understand it. Like in a comic, I feel
It's
like
like
it
a
would
really
work
bad
and be
Pacific
cool.
Rim. You know, like in Pacific
Yeah,
Rim when they
it
had
is.
the thing, you know, and it just
Annotations starting.
it's the only thing that I can really annotate. Like this movie is so nothing that like you can't even make connections. You're like,
Yeah, no, it is like Pacific Rim though. It's like an empty room, but it's like bad Pacific Rim. Yeah, because at least in
Yes.
Pacific Rim, the room moves because you're in a giant robot.
right.
In this, it's just like he's in and like where's the dust coming from in this room? The artifacting is so bad. Like it dissolves the action so much when the movie
The
can't
worst part,
stop.
the worst parts of this movie was when it keeps cutting back
Yeah,
to the Animus during the action scenes. Because
Yeah.
again, the stunts are good.
They're
It's just
cool.
that they're so severely undercut by some of the worst editing, some
constantly
of the worst camera work.
like they're trying to remind us like, oh, he's not really there, oh, this isn't really happening, the real story is happening in the real world. And again, like that's the biggest weakness of the Assassin's Creed games, is like the real world stuff is the stuff that sucks in those games.
Yes.
And like I feel like there was a point where they could have made it work, you know, post to you know, especially like keep.
Well, I think that's the fascinating
moving
thing
up.
about the video games too, is because like at a certain point, the video games also realized like the real
Right.
life stuff sucks,
Yeah, And
right? Like they killed
pivoted
off
to,
Desmond
like,
Miles in the third game.
Yeah,
You know, they knew that shit
But it's like-
sucks.
I don't know that was really the right call, but it's also like it was the right call if you're going to make 100 games, right? Like
right.
if you're going to make
there's only so far you could take, like one specific character. So unless you switch out the characters or whatnot,
or you end the whole story with Desmond, right? Like if you have him save the world or whatever, cool. You end it, and you can make the real world stuff become meaningful, right? But if you're like, oh no, actually,
but then you also lose out. The thing is,
you lose out on
the key element of this whole franchise is like the DNA aspect. It's like, oh wow, Desmond Miles is connected to so many cool guys, despite he himself not being a cool guy. Like same thing in this one. Like Cal Lynch, very uncool guy. You've made Michael Fassbender into this like really boring guy,
like truly boring, which is crazy because he was a little flippy kid, right? He was a little kid doing flips and doing crazy stuff on his bike,
doing crazy stunts, some Evel Knievel shit.
And then he's like this getting executed criminal.
It starts with the execution too. Like there's no indication of what Cal's life is prior to the execution.
The sequencing in the beginning of the movie, I know I always try not. Actually, I'm not even going to try to say like how I would actually do this because that's not what I'm doing. This is sequencing now. We get the assassin scene from 1490s scene.
That scene really just hammers out all the hits. All the famous quotes.
Yeah. Cuts the finger off. They cut the finger off. They
hitting all the beats.
Also, maybe one of the only good things I'll say about this movie is that when we were in Spain in 1492, they speak Spanish, and that's awesome. That's great. Make me read subtitles. It's fine. I think they understood that you don't actually spend enough time back then for anybody to get annoyed. It's like minutes of the movie. Anyway, so assassin scene. Then we cut to Kid, whatever his name is, Callum. Kid Callum seeing his mom get murdered by his dad. Okay. Then we cut to his execution. It makes me like I was bored. I was bored by the execution scene. Like you did not get me into this enough. Even the assassin scene was like mostly I was going, how long until I get back to this? If you're gonna waste my time with the kids stuff, you're gonna waste my time with the and it takes forever because now he's gotta get transported to the Animus, and they have to talk to him about how it's gonna connect to his neck and he's gonna do flippy shit. Like it takes forever to get back into the actual movie, into the stuff that matters. And I
think there's like a solid 30 minutes between that first assassin's scene and then when we go back to Andalusia.
And then like the assassin stuff barely matters either, right?
It's just like such a rich time too. Like we were talking before we recorded, it's so cool to see a time when Spain was so Islamic. A lot of media doesn't show that time, and it's incredible that like this era of humanity exists. And this is a movie that would be perfectly primed to show off like the richness of the culture in that area and that time, and you don't get any of it.
Yeah, you had already talked about the digital tourism aspect, which like I think has become more of a thing the longer the series goes. Obviously, 2 was a big example of it, right?
Well, especially as Venice, they get bigger and bigger. Like nowadays, with the size of the world,
again, Egypt, people taking pictures of the pyramids with their assassin, and you've got Greece, which is real fun. For posting, literally for posts. It's the Instagram version of video games. But like, yeah, and not to do that, not like it's crazy that Ubisoft was part of making this because they don't even understand what their employees, the game they're making, if they can make this and not understand that like basic element that by 2016 had solidified as an important thing about the series.
It's insane. Like with how much Ubisoft was involved in the production of this game, it's insane that it turned out the way that it did at even like again this level, like the virtual tourism. It doesn't do anything to provoke any interest in that era of Spain. And it's so crazy because, well, if you don't have Spain, what do you got? And the answer is some of the worst modern day stuff. Honestly, I'll give the games this, for as much as people poke fun and ridicule the Desmond stuff in those games, I would rather watch those cutscenes again than go through the modern day stuff in this movie.
I also think the balance was right. Like, we're really focusing on Assassin's Creed 2. I think that's probably both of us the peak. So, but like, for me, it was like the wandering and the time wasting of the game was always with Ezio, right? Like, I would spend as much time in Ezio's world as possible, and as you progress the story, you get back to Desmond, and it's like, all right, well, I'm going to get back to Ezio before I stop playing, so that when I pick the controller back up, I'll get to play as Ezio.
Yeah, and honestly, the Desmond stuff, like, they knew especially Brotherhood, like, the Desmond stuff was very ancillary. You'd go, you'd do, like, a quick parkour segment, and then basically after, like, 10 or 15 minutes, I feel, you'd be back doing Ezio stuff.
Right. It wouldn't take super long. And the balance was good because of that, right? It was never 50-50. It was always like, okay, you're going to do a little thing, and then we'll get you back to Ezio. And like this movie doesn't understand that at all, like, and it's like, I almost think this movie should have been the opportunity to do the real world assassin stuff, like, or the present day assassin stuff,
especially if they're tying it into the video games as hard as they are,
because it's like, I don't want to play that shit in a video game, but like, if you want to progress the present day story through the movies, that's kind of the place you do it, And you could still do flashbacks, but you're not ever going to be able to do that, the digital tourism in a movie anyway, right? Like, it's not really going to hit the same way. So it's like,
especially with the amount of time you're afforded, right? Like, in the games, you have so many hours to really just, like,
do whatever they want,
Yeah, and also, like, they're in the driver's seat, right? Like, they are playing through the characters. Like, here you're kind of doing like a showcase, right? Again, if the whole point of this movie is to advertise for the video games, like, the Andalusia portions really should be, wow, look, isn't 15th century Spain so cool? Where else you can get that kind of experience?
Right here. Here's a QR code.
Assassin's Creed Unity out now.
Yeah.
You wonder who that one assassin that shows up as a Force Ghost in that one scene is? Have I got the game for you? Have I got the game for you? Yeah, just baffling. Like, every single thing in this. Let's talk about the dad stuff. Because
what's he even doing there?
What is he doing? Like, what's he up to?
Is he just in jail? Is it just prison?
It stands to reason that when they came to grab Cal and his mom and his dad, I guess, to put them in the Animus, his dad kills his mom and he thinks his dad is an evil person, but apparently his dad was also an assassin and had to kill his mom so his mom wouldn't go into the Animus. Because his mom is the one that's related to Aguilar. But then they capture his dad, just like all the other assassin descendants. Also, the other thing to note here, they just have a shit ton of descendants of assassins in that compound.
It's like so many, so crazy, because it's like, I don't know at what point the games were on, right? But like, even Black Flag is like, the Templars have established a corporation that people do the VR, and like, more people than ever are doing it so they could find, through mass surveillance or whatever, or data collection, they're finding the apple that way. Which is fine, but it's still not this thing that's happening. And I don't know what game.
And this is very much like something out of the first game and the second game, right? Like, this feels like early stages stuff, not Desmond Miles has just saved the universe type shit. And it's so funny because, again, when we're talking about connections to the game, that's where the other descendants come in, because there are 3 or 4 characters in this movie that are also like abductees, I guess, of Abstergo that are related to assassins from the other games. I actually went and listed them out. So the other thing to note here is that the big villain in this movie, played by Mr. Father and Son, Jeremy Irons himself.
Not marry
Well,
his son.
can a father not marry his son?
Would a father not marry
Would a
his son?
father marry his son?
I think it's both. So
He
What a
plays
great-
Alan Rickon. I think it's Alan Rickon, who is just like a no-name character from the first game. So there's that connection, and then it's four. The four other descendants that we see in this movie. So there's one who is related to the assassin in Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, which is a side-scrolling video game for the PS Vita.
she got some
The
cool
one
moments.
played by Michael K. Williams is the descendant of one of the assassins in Assassin's Creed Liberation. The one that's played by Dua Lipa's fiance is the descendant of Duncan Walpole, who is one of the assassins that we kill in Assassin's Creed Black. So again, there is a Black Flag connection
Wow.
in this movie.
Wow.
And then
Genetic.
the last guy who barely shows up, I think he dies during the escape sequence, is the descendant of Yusuf Tazim from Assassin's Creed Revelations. All to say, none of this matters.
None of it matters.
None of it
like,
matters.
I've played one or two, parts of two of those games. I was aware of the Chinese one, which is pretty cool, But like,
Yeah.
and that stuff's cool as a game because of the digital tourism stuff and whatever, like all the cool things. It's fun. Like dad alternate history stuff is fun, but like this is nonsense, man. Especially it's like you can throw all that stuff in, but you need to have a basically good core thing for me to really like care at all, And that's the real problem, is that this just on a fundamental level, this movie's bad.
Yes. Like, we talked about Prince of Persia and it being an awful experience in its own right, but I think it does, at the end of the day, it doesn't fill me with an emptiness the same way this movie does. This movie has no material impact, I feel. There was a point in this movie where my body was telling me now is the time to fall asleep, and honestly I should have just listened to my body at that point.
Should have went CPs. Yeah, I stayed up till like 12:30 watching this movie, and it wasn't worth it.
Wasn't worth it.
It ends so
the
fast.
ending is also hilarious because like
it's
here's
so
the thing.
like
the
come back
Aguilar
in 2
stuff
years.
basically ends like halfway through the movie, right? Maria, who is a character I mentioned for the first time, I'm pretty sure right now, she dies, and then he gives the apple to Christopher Columbus. Also, Christopher
my
Columbus,
God.
who gives a
It
shit?
pissed me off.
And again, this
It
is
pissed me
the
off
Assassin's
so
Creed 2
bad.
mind, where it's like all the Assassin's Creed games, you had real life people showing up. You had Leonardo da Vinci showing up, right?
This
in the
is
second
how you
game.
know. This is how you know 2016 there was no woke. Okay.
Yes.
This is how you know in 2016 no woke had occurred. Okay. How the fuck are you? No. Absolutely not. He should be a Templar. How stupid can you be? If you're making an Assassin's Creed movie and you're stupid enough to make Christopher Columbus a good guy, that was woke 2 can't come fast enough. It can't come soon enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Woke Assassin's Creed is gonna be crazy.
So he gives the apple to Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus takes it to the grave.
Good.
Again, it really makes you wonder what Christopher Columbus's opinion on Islam was at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Check
And
the
then it
diaries.
cuts back to the modern day stuff, which is where the rest of the movie happens. And, this is where Cal really awakens. The assassin within him really awakens. And conveniently enough, the assassin within every other descendant also conveniently wakes up at the exact same
Wake me
time.
up. Yeah. Even that is like dumb, and like I think it's a really kind of reasonable. Obviously, like the evolution of the concept that happens, right? Desmond learns to be an assassin through
Right. It takes some time, but he gets there. And the whole point is that, like, through repeat use of the animus, like, you're supposed to gain these abilities.
This movie, the bleed is like so dangerous in this movie. Like, they're his brain can't handle. Oh no, like
they had to put him in the anti-masturbation cross actually at one point because of the bleed.
Yeah.
And also during all this, Cal's dad is just there, and then he gets stabbed to death, and that doesn't really matter. It was crazy because they staged that riot, right? And during all that chaos, I'm like, wow, this is the finale. They're finally rising up. This is how we end the movie. And then I checked, and I saw that there was still half an hour left in the movie. Yeah. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. Wait a fucking minute. Just, I don't know, man.
It's a horribly paced, poorly filmed, poorly edited piece of shit.
Just awful.
Yeah, it's real bad.
It's a good thing that as a society, we have forgotten about this movie.
It's true.
I think as a society, we are better off having forgotten about this movie.
Like Prince of Persia was bad
Prince of Persia was bad in a way that you could pick it apart, you could really pick it apart and be like, this is what, it's interesting that, things turned out the way that they did.
It wasn't like fundamentally boring either, right? Like it did stuff that made me go, okay, this is bad, but okay. Like, let's talk about this. This one was just like, the boring was really overpowering on this one. Like, yeah. They really could not figure out how to make Assassin's Creed fun without pushing 3 or 4 buttons, like it's again, like maybe Ebert was right. Maybe he's
Ebert
right.
Ebert had died just 2 years prior to the release of this movie.
Yeah. His ghost really attacked the production. This movie's not art though.
If I could go back, up maybe one ancestral link, I could find some way to cure cancer. Actually, was it cancer that Ebert had?
I don't know.
How did Robert Eger? Wow, Roger Ebert. How did Roger Ebert die? Many are asking this. Cancer.
You said? Yes. You're right.
It was cancer. I would go and find some way to like figure out how to cure cancer like 30 years ago so that Roger Ebert could live just long enough
to see this,
deliver the final blow to video game movies after this movie came out.
We have not gotten the video game movie that's art yet.
No, we haven't. And again, we're only 2 movies into this thing. We're still gonna be going quite a while, and honestly, it really does have me thinking, because the conversation comes up every single time there's a new video game movie. We finally did. We broke the curse. The video game movie curse has been broken.
Yeah, and thought it would happen with Tetris.
Yeah, maybe it did happen with Tetris, and everyone just forgot. But I think there's nothing else to say about Assassin's Creed 2016.
Yeah.
What a waste of time, money, space. What a waste of that one actor from Inglourious Bastards.
That one actor from Inglourious Bastards, the French guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the French guy, yeah. What a waste of both Gleasons, both Brian and Brendan.
You know what? That's a little bit like, Bronny getting the lob to LeBron, Like, okay. Come be on an Assassin's Creed movie,
Yeah.
That might be the one thing that I'm like, yeah, okay. That's fun.
What a waste of Michael K. Williams.
Yeah, his last years. You know what? I was asking myself why would he do this? But like, I gotta be real. Assassin's Creed is like the most drug addict video game franchise ever.
That's crazy.
So it is. It's true though.
Insane.
He probably fucking loved those games. So you know what? He was probably really excited to be on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably really happy.
I think for the next movie we do, it's got to be Uncharted. I think that's the logical next step.
My question about that, right? Because we talked about the cast so much in this one, and it's like the casting stuff in Uncharted is fascinating.
It is.
Is it better or worse? I don't know.
I don't know. I certainly don't know. I honestly, I don't think. Here's the thing. I think with the cast here, it's not like it's an insane cast to be fumbling. Like,
right, that's
Michael
true.
Fassbender wasn't necessarily in hits. You know, he was. You know, I think this is only a couple years before Dark Phoenix, right?
Okay,
this is the same year as Apocalypse.
I'm sorry.
X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, this is after First Class though, so he's already in franchise slop. What? The Alien stuff already happened. He's already kind of a nerd fixture.
Yeah, he was in Prometheus just
which is
4
why he's
years
here.
before this. Like, this is the place for him to be.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
but which, like, it's weird though. It still is weird, you know. But
yeah,
but it doesn't feel like a bunch of people got fumbled. But it's also like the main difference I think between Assassin's Creed and Uncharted. Like, I think the casting on Uncharted gets debated quite a bit, and like, you can maybe figure out better casting there. Here it's just like,
I don't think
why
you
did
can.
you take
like,
this
I think
job?
this is
like this is just like,
here's the
why
thing.
did
I
you
think
do
this is one where, you know, I think you could make a good movie out of this cast.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you can.
Yeah.
It just wasn't this one, you know. It's just not this movie.
Right.
You know? Like, I'm not gonna run what ifs.
Could
you
make
know,
a
like,
good movie.
you could run 50 different simulations to get a good movie out of this.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think it's necessarily the cast's fault, as it were.
I don't know that they would come together to make a good Assassin's Creed movie though. Maybe, but that's less. Like this group of actors.
I feel like that's
just
one of those things where it's like, can a good Assassin's Creed movie be made?
Right. I think that's more my question too. Like, and especially, could Hollywood accomplish a good Assassin's Creed movie? And that's up for debate.
Yeah. So, remains to be seen. But I think I'm glad we're done with the Ubisoft movies. There are no other Ubisoft movies that we can
I'm all done.
Cover.
They suck.
Right?
Like, it's crazy too, because it just feels like, I mean, like, Splinter Cell would be a boring movie. There's a Watch Dogs movie getting made though.
Everyone says there is, but I don't believe it.
That's what you would have said. 2012 Lan would have said that about Assassin's Creed too, though.
No, I think 2012 is because by that point they had already done the comics, right? Like, they'd already started delving into multimedia. Like, it makes sense for them. Like, if you told me in 2012, oh, they're planning on doing an Assassin's Creed TV series, it wouldn't be the craziest thing, right?
Yeah.
Even now, like, if they're actually, even like now, it's the most expected thing. I feel like if they really want to launder the image of the Assassin's Creed franchise, the TV show is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably should have been from the gate. You would have been able to do the tourism stuff.
Yeah.
In a good way. Like, you could have actually, like, gotten people to go, ooh, you know, like, you need a little more Emily in Paris in Assassin's Creed,
right?
Is what I'm trying to say.
There is a Far Cry series being produced by Noah Hawley.
What? No, people are going to tell me to watch that. Far Cry?
Far Cry, yes, Far Cry.
That's Far like the Cry. Opposite of Legion, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just conceptually, like, just in terms of richness. Oh, it's not just Noah Hawley. It's also Rob McElhenney. Or sorry, Rob Mack.
No.
Starring Rob Mack.
What the hell? That makes sense. That's actually kind of banger. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's upsetting. But it's Hawley, so he'll just make shit up, you know?
It doesn't seem like he's that interested in I wouldn't, I get it. I get it.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's like, what if the people who made Call of Duty wanted to make a different game? That's
okay,
it.
so, I said I said that Assassin's Creed, it totally makes sense for them to launder the image as a
You
TV
convinced
series.
me. Yeah.
Well, good news, because apparently they're doing exactly that, and it's going to be coming out on Netflix.
You just Netflix. It's the Canadian, you know? It just bled over a few cities, just right into your brain.
Yeah. Apparently the casting, as recent as last month. Fascinating. Principal photography began on March 10th, 2026 in Italy.
Why? No, don't do an adaptation. Like, Assassin's Creed is the one thing that I'm like, you should do
original stuff.
Like, this movie is not a good, it wasn't good, obviously.
No,
but,
it's an awful movie, but I'm glad that it didn't do a straight adaptation.
Exactly. Like, you should not do an adaptation. There's literally all of history at your disposal. You can do anything you want. Like, you could literally just do Ghost of Tsushima. You could do Yakuza.
Islamic with it.
Like, you could get more Islamic with it. Obviously, that would be awesome. There's so much you could do, though.
Go to Uzbekistan.
Oh, hey,
go to Kyrgyzstan.
You might. You could
go to Mongolia.
How about the Philippines? Let's do the Philippines.
Go to Philippines. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so again, it's an incredible franchise on a conceptual level. It's so ripe. It's so fresh with it's like an endless grove.
Every cool historic moment you could do.
Yeah.
Like, you have all the stories you need. Because you just have history.
You just have history. History is the battlefield. Wow. I don't know what video game that's a quote from. I don't know if that's a quote from anything, actually. I think I might have just made that up.
Wow. Pen is fire, man.
Yeah, I think that's Assassin's Creed. Join us next time for Uncharted. We'll really figure out what the deal is there. Before we do that, though, and before we sign off here, I must let you know patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals has a lot of good stuff on it. Hornography, for instance, is back for its second season. A lot of contentious stuff going on there. A lot of intellectual debates happening there. So if you want to go witness that, go to patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals. Otherwise, there's a whole bunch of bonus content there. The first bonus episode for our absolute ride-along is also on there as well by this point. A lot of great stuff. Please support us any way you can. Put a good review on your podcast app of choice. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, I'm sure the people working on the Assassin's Creed franchise are actually pretty easy to reach out to. Just link this episode in their replies. I'm sure they'll love that. And yeah, if you want to reach out to us, talk to us on our Discord, links to that they're all in the description. What else? Email, if you want to email us with suggestions, comments, questions, midnightgrappleranimals@gmail.com. And it's time for Tastemaker's Grab Bag. Keigen, what do you have?
I only got one thing today for once.
Just
went
one.
And saw the drama. At the Cheap Theater on Tuesday. Rob Pattinson and Zendaya. It's a real good theater movie, is what I think. It's very fun seeing with a group of people. It's fun. It's good. I think it's a movie that escalates what it's doing so perfectly that it's crazy. It's crazy. It's very fun to talk with other people about after. It's fun to kind of see people's reaction and, see how people react to it. It's fun. It's very good. I had no idea what the even core concept was. I just knew Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, and they deliver. It's good. I liked it a lot. So go to the theater on your cheap weekday that you could go to the theater, and hopefully there will be other people in there and you can hear them either awkwardly laughing or refusing to laugh. because they're libs. The Drama. Go see it in theaters.
Nice. I'm gonna get real old with it. Kiki's Delivery Service.
Wow.
I had to watch that on the big screen at work.
Wow.
Watch it on the big screen. It was at work, yes. Well, the beautiful things that you can afford to do when you have a huge auditorium. When you've got a huge auditorium that no one uses at work.
That's right.
I'm like the Phantom of the Opera at work now. Just hang out in the auditorium watching old movies. Kiki's Delivery Service, fantastic film. Great stuff going on there. And
Very cool.
If you can, try and watch it on a big screen. It's very magical on the big screen.
Yeah, if you don't have an auditorium at work,
just
figure out your life.
Figure something. Listen, there used to be a time. Actually, even nowadays, there still are places that do it. Drive-ins, get a big ass screen. Go up to a big white wall, and just put a projector on there.
My theater near me, it's not cost effective at all. But you can rent out the theater, and I think they'll play a DVD. I think it's a DVD you bring.
A bunch of theaters in my area also offer that.
It's pretty expensive, but I've thought about it, and I'm like, if I like different when I have more 4K movies, I'll think about it more. But I also need like enough people to make it worth it. Like, hey, let's figure this out. I think I will eventually. I think this is too fun. Like,
yeah,
let's watch
like a Spider-Man
No Way Home. I'm just kidding.
Birthday party, just you're forcing everyone to watch Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's guys, wait, it gets better.
Guys, wait.
We've all watched it.
When the portal happens, that's gonna be
They're
crazy.
They're gonna pause,
bro.
and we should all go crazy. Look, watch.
And guys, don't react, because that way you'll be able to see
that they were waiting.
They paused.
They were
exactly.
waiting for the reaction. Oh, it's anyway.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
Well, I think that is Tastemaker's Grab Bag, and I think that's the episode. So, folks, we'll see you next time with Uncharted, a movie that we still have yet to watch.
Yeah, we definitely haven't watched it.
Definitely haven't watched it. Definitely haven't already done an episode about it.
We didn't record it.
We haven't recorded anything yet.
Nothing. No.
This is all being done perfectly in sequence. And as always,
La mañana es todo. Just kidding. Keep on grappling.
Isn't that like the morning is everything?
Oh, it's manzana. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't care. The morning is everything. You're right.
It's niente e vero, todo es permeso.
Oh no! It's the apple is everything though, is what they say.
The apple is everything.
La manzana lo es todo is what it is.
That's stupid. That doesn't mean shit.
It was so
violence
funny.
We're ending
it just
violence
sounds
my
like,
ass, dude.
I mean, I know I said the wrong word. I typed the wrong word is actually what I did. But it just sounds like they're learning Spanish, Like it sounds like you're just practicing sentences.
Yeah, throw Michael Fassbender in San Luis Obispo for a week.
Y guerra. That pissed me off so bad.